Alright everybody, welcome back to Mamaw's Kitchen, where Mamaw's going to make our family favorite recipes. Take it away, Mamaw.
Hi. Okay, today some of our very favorite white velvet cutouts. Those amazing sugar cookies with buttercream frosting that everybody wants to purchase from some of the stores. We make those here at home. The kids love it. We love to put on the sprinkles and all the fun stuff, but we're just going to make them today, let you see what we enjoy. And first things first, one package of butter. So all 4 sticks and one package of cream cheese. I've had it in here now for about an hour, getting really, really, really soft. And so we're going to mix this up, and then we're going to add the sugar to it. So again, I hope this mixer is okay for everybody. Just going to let that mix really well. All right, look how nice and creamy that is. Now we're going to add 2 full cups of sugar. We don't have to go slow with this one. Just put it right on in there. Okay, we're going to let that incorporate a little bit more. All right, that's been about 2 minutes just to get all of that mixed in together really nicely. Now we're going to do egg yolks only. Now, y'all know I really don't like to touch eggs, but this is the only way that I know how to do this. I know that there's all these little attachments you can do and stuff, but I want all those little pieces off. I just want the yolks. And then I'm just going to drop that down in there. Then I'm going to do a second one, and then I'm going to wash my hands. That is stuck. Whoop, broke that one a little bit, so I'm going to go quick. There you go. All that down in there. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. Look how light and airy that is. It's so pretty. So we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to this. That's just a little bit more liquid. And then the only thing we're going to add next is 4.5 cups of flour. There's no leavening agent in this, so we don't have to incorporate the leavening agent in with the flour and add it really slowly. So we're just going to add the flour to it, and then we'll be able to scoop these out. So we're going to do this 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Add it right in. And then switch right straight to that flour. I will still do this a little bit at a time. I'm going to slow that mixer down a little bit so I don't throw flour everywhere. Don't really want to make that much of a mess to clean up, but we're going to do it a little bit at a time. All right. You see it just mixes in, and right as it mixes in, then I just add a little bit more. That was 1 cup. That's 2. Sorry, I'm left-handed. I get my hand in there right in the way. Uncle Clinton's very patient with me. I'm not sure who likes to make these more. I think the little granddaughters might enjoy the sprinkles and things more, and the grandsons might like eating them best. So that was 3. Woo! Made that one fly out of there. That's 4. And we're going to our 1/2 cup. Woof, everywhere. Sorry. Added it a little bit too fast. All right. And let that mix just a little bit. All right. That looks beautiful. I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to scrape the paddle put it in the sink, and then we're going to work with these cookies. We're going to scoop them. These will not spread out, so we will press them down and do it the old-fashioned way with a cup and some flour, and then bake them. Because they don't spread, I can put them really close together on the silicone pad. So, all right. All right, we're going to put these little spoonfuls down on the pad. I'm not going to push them down yet. I'm just going to put a few little spoonfuls out. Try to make them as uniform in size as I can. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring a cookie scoop for this one. Oop, that one's a little bit too big, isn't it? Okay. All right, I'm just going to do these, show you, and then we'll magically fill the pan, okay? So, all right, we're going to dip this flour onto this cup. Now, the first one doesn't work the best. Got to add a little bit more to it because it'll stick. But then after that, they'll all work. Now, see how I'm just mashing it out nice and even with this little glass? That's what they used to do all the time. Some people would do one with a design in it, and then they'd get a little cute little design on the cookie too. Actually, we're getting a little number 30 in there. Not that I intended to. All right.
See it on camera.
I can't see it. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right, we're going to smash all these down. We're going to put this in a 350-degree oven. We're also going to do these for 10 minutes. And then if it needs to be a little bit longer, I'll let you know. And then when they come out, in the meantime, I'm going to scrape all this cookie dough out and put it in another bowl, because we're going to need to make some frosting, because we're going to frost and sprinkle these little things and make them look nice and pretty. I'm just going to clean up the edges just slightly with a little bit of flour on my finger so it doesn't stick to my finger, but all these little edges, kind of make them go in so they look kind of smooth and pretty. That's not too bad. Just a few little odds and ends in there. The decorations that we do in a little while will look so nice that nobody's going to notice the rest of this. All right, we're going to stick this in the oven. All right, here we go. So get a really good close-up of that, please, Uncle Clinton. So see how it's just brown just on the edge? That's really what we want. It's just kind of starting on the top. Then that was a 10-minute timer. It worked just perfect. So we're going to take these over. We're going to set them down, make some frosting, and get them frosted. Favorite thing for me to use still is newspaper. I've been using it for years. It is the best thing that I've found. And whoop, ring the bell. And then when we're all done, this just wads up and goes into the trash. And we are just about ready to eat some sugar cookies. Basic buttercream frosting, super easy to make and just tastes great. So we're going to start with, again, that softened butter. So this recipe, when you look at the recipe when Uncle Clinton loads it up, this recipe for the frosting, I double it. We like more frosting than what it allows for. So I just always double the frosting recipe. So what we're going to put in today is double what it calls for. So I did 6 tablespoons of butter that are softened. I'm going to set this down, turn it on. I'm going to add the liquids right off the bat. Powdered sugar is great at grabbing it all up and blending together nicely. So 1-2 teaspoons of vanilla. Then we're going to switch to that big tablespoon. Tablespoon is going to do milk. Now for ease, I just put got butter on it. I put milk in a cup because it's easier to get it out. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, all that's just down in there being happy. My powdered sugar container is too small for the cup, so we're just going to pull it out and put it in the measuring cup. Okay. Now, when you do powdered sugar and you add it to the mixer, each time you literally have to turn that mixer off or you're going to have powdered sugar in your face. Okay. So I'm going to turn it off and then we'll start it again and I'll get another one. Okay, we're going to do 6 of these. This is going to be 2. All right, for your boredom's sake, I'm going to, I forgot to turn it off. And I got powdered sugar everywhere. All right, so we're going to let that mix. Let me do one more. Do it right. Hey, y'all, this is just for fun. And messes always clean up. All right. I'm going to turn it off and add that powdered sugar. And we're going to start it again. In a little bit, I'll have to scrape those sides down to get all of it in there. But we're going to add 3 more off camera. And then we'll come back. We'll have the frosting ready. And we'll show you what to do next. All right. I have all 6 cups of flour in there. But see how it's gone to a paste? So I have the option of adding some more milk that will allow it to get a little bit smoother. I'm going to add a few more of those. I don't want to do too much because I don't want it to be like super sticky, but watch the dough or watch the frosting and just see. It'll tell you what it needs. We're going to go ahead and do all of it. Then I'm going to turn it off and scrape the sides down. So you can see everything going down in there. Okay. And we'll turn it back on again. Okay, not quite what I want. So I'm going to do one more. I'm just going to make sure that I get it thin enough that I can really spread it. I'm going to do one more and then another trick the recipe doesn't call for. This is what Mamaw does. Frosting has a tendency to get so sweet that people will be like, I don't like frosting because it's too sweet. Well, a lot of times it's because nobody adds a pinch of salt. So Mamaw's going to add a pinch of salt to that, and I'm going to add 2 because it's a double batch. Okay, so it's got a little pinch of salt in there, and now I've got a little bit more milk in there. We're going to turn it on one more time. Let's see if we can get it nice and creamy. Hey y'all, I know that mixer's awful loud and I'm going to turn it off real quick, but I want you to be able to see how it's got nice and smooth and creamy. Now I'm going to turn it off so you can hear me and I don't have to be quite so loud, but look at that. Oh, so good. So you can see on the back of my spatula where I scraped, so you can see that it's thicker, and then you can see how this is a lot creamier. So the higher speed of the mixer and the extra milk in there made it nice and creamy. So we're about ready to do some frosting. Let's see if those cookies are cool. Okay, now if you don't know this, don't frost anything hot or your frosting will melt right off. So we're going to make sure that our cookies are nice and cool. That's the hardest part of making these, is waiting for those cookies to cool down. And then, of course, getting to be the first one to sample one. We always have to pick out our favorite when we're eating these. Who gets the favorite cookie and gets to taste it first. So, all right, we're gonna give those cookies about 5 more minutes. Come back and see me in a little bit. All right, I'm getting excited. This is nice and cool. We're gonna frost these and then we're gonna put these really cute little sprinkles on top. These are little pumpkins, little fall leaves, and then a really neat medley of pumpkins and leaves and really pretty colored sprinkles, and they're sparkly, and you know how much I love sparkles. So we're going to frost these real quick, add just 1 or 2 on here so you can see. Like I said, we like lots of frosting, so it's gonna get a lot. All right, here we go. All right, kind of smooth it off just a little bit. And let's go with these little fall leaves. And how about one or two little pumpkins? Make our own little mix right there. There we go. And here's one more. Put the sparkly ones on. All right. Is this one for Mamaw and one for Uncle Clinton? And we'll just test it and tell you how good it is. There you go, y'all. Aren't they cute? You can do these for any season. Have fun.